The challenge begins. Today's matchup. Larva, Im Hongyu. Bisu, Kim Taekyong. KT Giga Internet, ASL Season 4. Larva versus Bisu. KT Giga Internet, ASL Season 4.
Welcome to the ASL. It is the fourth place match. I'm Artosis. This is Rapid. You know us already. If you're one of the few people watching us right now.
And if you're not, you came to the right place. It's good to have you back, Artosis, after a long sojourn away in America doing WCS and actually casting one of the guys we have playing tonight.
That's true. Bisu played Jaedong over at BlizzCon, and little old Tassels and I got to cast, and that was pretty fun. But you got to cast and play Flash.
I did.
So I saw the better side of Bisu, you saw the lesser side.
Well, yeah, it didn't go quite so well for him here in Korea. He did get knocked out, and that's why he's playing Larva in the third place match today. But he did do very well against Jaedong. I felt like that series really kind of had it all, and maybe give us a little bit of a preview about what we can expect here tonight.
Well, I think Jaedong was playing a very aggressive style against him there, and Bisu did a great job of tearing that apart. But before we talk about that, I guess...
Yeah, let's talk about the finals.
This is what's coming up, guys, the finals. Sorry, I am so jet-lagged, people, so I'm a little bit out of it.
We can just read through from the top. The ASL Season 4 finals between Hero and Flash will be on November 12th, this Sunday, or not this Sunday, next Sunday, at 5 p.m. KST.
That is this Sunday.
That is... Yeah, okay, it is this Sunday. All right, you're not that jet-lagged, Artosis.
5 p.m. KST, Hanyang University Olympic Gymnasium live. Subway line 2, exit number 2. And if you take the subway, it is a bit of a walk from the subway. It's not too bad, but just like walk way through, and you'll eventually see this building. It's hard to miss because it's right before the river. So it's like,
it's a little bit up on a hill.
There'll be some signs and stuff, You and I were just there for that super match.
Yep. And that's where it'll be, Hero versus Flash. Now, there are no tickets for this. You don't buy a ticket. You show up and you are given a ticket. Yeah. So there's probably not going to be a lot of spots open, so you guys better get there early in order to get a seat for Hero versus Flash.
The gymnasium is not super, super huge, but I mean, it's pretty good. It's a good size.
Right. They'll probably put out a lot of seating and make sure that everybody can come in there and watch it. So yeah, just get there early and make sure to be excited. Here's a look at our brackets, how everything transpired.
Yeah, I got to see the Flash Beast match. It was pretty awesome.
Hero Larva, man.
How was that match actually? I didn't get to see it yet.
It looks a lot closer than it was. I felt like Larva did a really good job in the games that he won, but he was just like really inconsistent. And Hero especially, you could see had that when Jaedong plays ZVZ, they used to call it JVZ because he just knew every little in and out. That honestly looked like what Hero was doing. He would just get the smallest little advantages. Larva was really unable to deal with that. But tonight, Larva is going to have to deal with Bisu in a totally different matchup, one that Bisu is really well known for.
Yeah, that's definitely quite the case. Like, Bisu is a monster of PvZ. He's been killing everyone. But you know what? I really like Larva's style that he's shown us so far. He's plays it very turtly. Really kind of makes like a lot of sunks, a lot of lurkers behind them, and plays that longer game, especially Gold Rush. Or Skull Desert, as we like to call it, set 3. So we'll definitely be seeing that map, but I have very much liked his play there.
Yeah, and he reminds me a little bit of Shine in that he's kind of this new, this up-and-coming player who's really advanced far here, but is not afraid to pull out wacky strategies sometimes, go for maybe some proxy hatches, or mix it up a little bit. So there you can see him on your screen, and you can hear a big cheer from the crowd behind us. This is Larva. He is incredibly popular, and he is killing it this season.
Well, he should be. This guy has so much personality. It's crazy. He has the cutest little baby you ever saw. And I mean, he's a fantastic Zerg player. He does so well on his stream and shows a lot of passion for the game, especially when he's breaking his keyboards.
Or doing crazy shenanigans.
Yeah.
I tweeted a meme about him earlier because this guy just does crazy stuff on his stream. So definitely go watch it. Even if you don't ever watch Afreeca, or if you don't know Korean, it's still totally worth it.
Oh, yes. I agree with you 100% there. He's a fun one to watch. And really, he shows tip-top games. And just now, offline, he's starting to show that as well, that he can really compete with everybody. So really fun, a great player to have in the scene right now. And, of course, on the other side, well, it's a literal god.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at that. 6-0 versus Protoss. He's just like, owns his own matchup. That's what I look towards when I look at and see, wow, is this guy somebody that is the best of his race? Well, yes, unquestionably.
That's a cool way
the
to
best Protoss player alive right now. And if you look at his versus Zerg, you know, that's actually what surprises me, is that it's not perfect, because this is a guy that is known as being the revolutionist, that revolutionized this matchup, and has just finished beating arguably the greatest Zerg player alive right now, Jaedong, at BlizzCon.
Yeah, I mean, Bisu he's on fire right now. In my opinion, he is the second best player in the world right now, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Of course, after Flash, but he's just so monstrous. Now, to be fair, he was at BlizzCon, so he might be a bit tired. He might be a bit jet lagged.
Yeah.
But I think he actually, because they played on Friday, right, and then like you know, obviously BlizzCon was Saturday as well, and then people went home on Sunday for the most part. But I think Bisu might have gone home the day before, because Nick and I were on the plane with Jaedong, but we didn't see Bisu. So I assume that he left a little bit early, maybe to prep for this match. Certainly going to take this seriously, so maybe not as jet-lagged as Artosis. Because if he's as jet-lagged as Artosis...
Well, we already know who's going to win.
Well, I mean...
He's going to come up here and tap you on the shoulder and be like, sub in for me.
I did not take many victories on the StarCraft ladder today. But all that being said, man, Bisu versus Larva, this should be a fantastic match. You gotta lean towards Bisu, though, right?
Absolutely. We'll see what Larva has prepared as we get into game number 1 on Fighting Spirit.
KT Giga Internet, ASL Season 4.
Gotta make sure I was wrong. I can tell for the heart can be blind and frozen. Now I live with the pain every night, every day.
Huge cheers from the crowd. Something we got to talk about before this series starts, so you can see Larva, our Zerg player, and Bisu, our Protoss player, is that this may be the beginning of one of the last times we ever get a chance to watch Bisu play professional Brood War.
Yeah, that's a lot of talk is going around about that. Both he and Jaedong looking to join the military very, very soon. Of course, that is something that you have to do in Korea. If you are a young man, you have to go to the military. A lot of people do it after high school, but before college. Pro gamers, of course, have their career, so oftentimes they put it off, and you're allowed to put it off for quite a few years. If you are doing something like a career, you know, where it's like, this is the time you can do this. And I mean, he's already done that, right? Like, Bisu's getting up there and doesn't really want to wait too much longer. You can't really blame him for it.
Yeah, there's a reason YMCA is not a popular song here. Don't sing that too much. There you can see big shout-outs to Tasteless in the crowd, who is unfortunately not here, but here in spirit and all of the Tasteless signs.
Yes.
Of course, some of those mistakenly wrote Larva's name underneath it, but we all know what they wrote.
That's Tasteless's favorite Zerg, so...
Well, I can see why. I wonder why. One day, like, the little Tasteless kids and the little Larva kids will all play together.
Oh, that would be amazing.
The Larva kids will be better at StarCraft, but the Tasteless kids will cannon rush better?
Probably. To be fair, Larva started out as quite a cheesy guy, so might have cheesy young ones.
Yeah, maybe there's a little bit more in common than we know.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Hatchery going down, so it's not something super, super crazy. It will be going down any second. The drone's kind of like a dog. It has to turn around in a circle before it makes the hatchery, but it does get it down, so the probe's not in time to block it.
All right, so the probe is there, though. He could try a cannon rush here.
Yeah, he's going behind the mineral line. There it goes.
It looks like he wants to.
Yeah.
You know, you can wall these in pretty darn well, so...
There it goes. I was going to try, I guess you try to sneak a drone back there and glitch it through?
You can pop a drone through, but the thing is the cannon is already on the way. He's already screwed up with the popping of the drone through already. Look at this probe coming by and slowing everything down as well.
Okay, he replaces it, but there's already pylons that are completed. The drones are not surrounding the pylons, so there's really only a couple.
No.
Now, a drone does get drilled back there, but like you said, the cannon is already on the way.
Yeah, it's being attacked by a drone. He's trying to glitch some more drones back here, but the thing is, if this finishes and you're not going to kill it, you're going to lose those drones as well as your hatch. So that is not really a great place to be. Bisu here with these probes doing a good job, kind of stand on top of things.
Yeah, and I mean, one Bisu probe is already scary, but two is insane, and the cannon completes. Oh no, another one going down. It blocks the mineral patches. You can't even get back there to that back cannon now anymore.
Yeah,
and there's nothing but drones to fight.
Well, he's still going to fight it, right? Like, he's going to get some lings out and see if he can... That block was crazy. That was a crazy, crazy block. But you know what? As lings pop out, I believe he can fit through on the side of that pylon, right?
You mean behind it?
Am I crazy?
I don't think you can actually fit through there. I think that's a full block.
Okay, it might well be. It's hard to say on that diagonal there for me, but...
Well, the hatchery's down below half health, Artosis, and with two cannons,
man, yeah, that hatchery is absolutely not going to live.
Yes, super dead. He's still getting value out of the larva, which you should do if you do name yourself that. But he's going to try to take this out before the hatchery falls.
Okay, so this cannon will in fact fall, and this buys more time for his hatchery.
Wow, is he actually going to try to save this? It's getting pretty low.
Let's see if he actually fits in here. Okay, I think it does actually technically, like that way that probe just walked. I do feel like lings might fit through the left-hand side of that pylon there.
Okay, well this is where it becomes a Captain Planet cast.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, yeah, you can't slip by there.
Yeah, so that's why he was glitching the drones through, because he knew it would finish, but he needed damage on it so the lings could finish it. But good micro by Bisu throughout. Like he did. The way he was utilizing his probes, he kind of slowed down the jumping of the drones initially there, and it was very well done by Bisu. Larva came closer to holding that than it looked like, but it just didn't.
He dealt with the first cannon really well. He got a bunch of Zerglings, ran in, picked it off, and pulled back. But then it felt like he lost a little bit too much, and yeah, wow, what a strategy. That is not how Larva wanted his first game to go.
No, certainly not. To lose there, that's Fighting Spirit. That's a map we'll see twice if we do get to Game 5. So
I mean, if he wants to fight all his way all the way there, then he gets a chance at revenge. But I mean, that is a long, hard road to hoe.
A long.
So I think the idea is, I think you're supposed to say road to hoe, but I also said a long road to travel. I was just, maxing my metaphors, mixing. Never mind. I did the thing, but so did Bisu.
Yeah. Okay. Thought you. Okay, we're gonna go to a commercial break, guys.
We try to fix my
back. Yeah. See you in a minute.
If I go to the world, would you stay by my side? If I go to the wild.
그래픽이 좋은 게임을 되게 선호하는 편이거든요. 스케일이 큰 게임이라 생각했어요.
굉장히 배우기가 일단 쉬워요. 그냥 부담 없이 손 안에서 FPS 게임을 할 수 있는 게 가장 큰 매력인 것 같아요.
오버워치 쪽 BJ, 배틀그라운드 BJ, 서든어택 BJ 이렇게 나오는 자존심 대결이죠.
한이랑 서든어택이랑 느낌이
제일 비슷해요.
세 게임 중에서 느낌 제일 비슷해요. 샷은 배그 쪽이 더 섬세하지 않나요?
비교가 안 되죠.
비교가 안 되죠.
어이가 없네. 건축 이렇게 하시면 3D로 막 이렇게 도면하시잖아요. 이게 배그라고 치면 서드는 그냥 탁자예요. 단면만 보는 거예요. 단면만 보고 쏘는 거예요.
그래서 나도 이번에 샷발 대결도 좀 궁금해요. 우리가 하려는 게 팀 데스매치 몇 판 몇 승으로 하는 게 좋은 거예요.
길게 하면 루즈해지기 때문에 임팩트 있게 딱 해야 됩니다.
그다음에 총기에 대한 규정은 서버에 반영된 모든 총기 다 사용을 하셔도 돼요. 우승 상금은 따로 있는 거예요?
300. 2등이 200.
300, 200.
그리고 올스타전 때 이기는 팀이 100. 올스타전에서 MVP 받는 사람이 개인으로 100.
팀은 뭐 제한이 없어요. BJ들 친한 BJ 분들이 오셔도 되고, 그다음 팬들이 함께 팬이랑 같이 해도 되고.
센 상대는 없을 것 같고 개인적으로 좀 약한 상대는 서든 좀 오래된 게임 하신 분들 있지 않습니까?
제가 봤을 때 그분 그 자동 모드보다 못합니다. 아마 예능으로 뽑을 수 있는.
뭐라고요? 아니 주자가 정하시고요. 방송을 좀 재밌게 하려고 못합니다. 일부러 누가 됐든 저랑 처음 붙으신 팀 있지 않습니까? 진짜 각오하셔야 될 것 같아요.
배틀그라운드 자체를 잘하는 거지 그냥 다른 그냥 샷발은 좀 별로지 않냐 이런 얘기 좀 많이 나왔었는데 이번에 한번 보여드릴 수 있도록 해보겠습니다. 제가 만약 기누다님 팀한테 지면은 서든 계정 탈퇴, 서든 삭제하고 앞으로 3방송만 3시간 이상씩
우먼 파워를 보여드릴 거기 때문에 절대 멸망하지 않습니다.
Welcome back, my nerds. We just saw a cannon rush from Bisu.
Yep, even the best players in the world do cannon rush. You always have to watch out for that strategy.
Yeah, no, it absolutely can just kill you off sometimes, and that's what we just had. Larva didn't quite glitch it right and everything. Whatever, that game is over. Don't forget, the finals, the actual finals, this third place match, guys, is on this Sunday, 5 p.m. KST. That's 2 hours before this show started, just in case you need that help.
That is right, Artosis. Make sure to get there. Otherwise, you will have to learn from Larva's drones how to glitch your way through the crowd into the seats because it will be absolutely packed.
Well, if you're circling, you can probably get right through there.
That's true.
Listen, Hanyang University, if you're in Seoul, it's one stop from Wangshimni, which is one of our biggest hubs in Seoul that has like 7 subway lines going into it. So go there, show up, come a little bit early because it is Flash playing in his 3rd ASL finals in a row. I think it'll probably be packed, so you probably have to get there early to get your ticket.
It's where he wins the Golden Freak. You know that's what they're going to call it. I don't know.
Man.
It's going to be like a golden stream. Like you get a golden monitor to I don't know what they're going to give him, but
golden webcam.
It's going to be sick if he wins, but he does have to go through Heroes, so make sure to come watch.
Yeah. Look, it's a pretty historic moment, to be honest. So definitely worth your while to come down, I think, and it'll be a lot of fun. The tickets don't cost anything. You just have to get there early enough to get one.
Yeah, my dad used to tell me 90% of life is just showing up, but in this case, 100% of your life needs to be showing up to this final.
Your dad is actually right. This is, everyone out there, here's some great advice from Rapid's dad.
Yeah.
90% of life is showing up. Most people never ever show up. They just type things.
Or they don't show up all the time. Or they're just not there. But both of these players are here because they have showed up so well this entire tournament. But unfortunately their tournament lives have come to an end. Now we get a chance to find out who will take home the 3rd place in this battle. Now already Bisu up a game after a very aggressive cannon rush caught Larva off guard. You can see that look on Larva McGregor's face. He is not happy.
Yeah. Not looking too pleased after that loss. Crossing Field is the map that he does not like. This is the map that he vetoed, and for good reason. Bisu's going to have 3 bases pretty easily.
Yeah.
I mean, we have seen some Zergs play this map extremely well. Sulky comes to mind. But let's see what he has planned here. I wonder if we possibly will see a cheese out of Larva due to his dislike of the map.
Well, I think he just really wants to get himself back in the series. Will he do it? Let's find out.
ASL Season 4.
Gotta make sure I go. I was wrong, I can tell. For the heart can be blind and frozen. Now I live with the pain every night, every day that
And away we go.
Why is there always a little tiny piece of lag at the beginning of StarCraft matches?
I always used to blame that on my computer, but then I'm like, well, my computer can run, like Fallout. Why can't it, do that? But I don't know. It's just I have a little bit of brain lag at the beginning, so it syncs up nicely.
Yeah.
So here we go.
It helps me with my clones. So.
Oh yeah, that is true. If we could just pause and I could clone all of my workers. That would
just play StarCraft 2 instead.
Well, I mean, there's some games where it's you try to go do something, but there's a little bit of downtime at the beginning for you to figure everything out. I kind of need that when it comes to cloning. It's a nice practice, but I've been playing the cloning UMS map a lot.
Oh, have you? How do you like it? Actually, I need to do that.
It's the same. I feel like it makes me worse before I get better. So I'm like, oh, I can clone 3 out of 4. I'm really good. And then I can clone 4 out of 4, and then I go back to not being able to do it at all. And whenever I'm playing on ladder, it just all falls apart. So one step at a time, Artosis, we'll get there.
I was thinking about possibly,
There's not a lot of stuff being built in Larva Space, Artosis.
No, not too much. All right, so 9 pool.
Yep.
Incoming. But no, about that cloning map, just real quick, that's it makes you start on less drones?
Yeah. Well, I think there's two. One just starts you with the 4, so you can practice, and then there's one that starts you with more drones, so you can practice cloning more.
Okay.
All right. I was
just wondering because I was just someone linked me to that because I've been having a hard time cloning. I guess I've actually always been bad at cloning. But
if you guys are frustrated with some of the mechanics in Brood War, there are definitely UMS maps. I say UMS maps. That's like saying AD damage. There are maps out there to help you practice. And for sure, every player that you watch play on stream or on a pro team has spent years of their life in maps like that to practice the fundamentals.
That's very true. It's called deliberate practice. Do it, guys.
Go for it. All right, so Bisu's probe has not been able to get all the way in and see absolutely everything, so the information here is kind of limited.
Yeah, this is a very clever move here from Larva, who is trying to get some sort of a kind of aggressive cheese on.
And you can see he's trying to, I guess he was pretending there for a little bit to throw down that base. Maybe it was actually blocked, but here come the Zerglings, and now the jig is up.
Yeah, he sees what's going on, and he had some sort of idea of this anyways. His probe came over to see a drone blocking right there.
What's going on?
Yeah, it can be two things. It's a mind game or it's a Zergling rush, right? So he made his gateway. He should be fine against this. I mean, he should be able to micro all right. He's making his Nexus. He's going to have his ult pop out in just a second here.
This reminds me a lot of the final Game 5 between Bisu and Jaedong, where Jaedong tried a very aggressive strategy against Bisu, and Bisu just perfect defense. You can see he's already got plenty of drones or of probes up here along with the Zealot right at the front.
And even though he has 4 probes that are not mining right now, his economy is in better shape than his Larva's. This is... Larva had to cut a lot of his economy to do this so quickly. Look at that. He does not have that many drones mining. And now Bisu gets full scouting on. He's holding on just fine. This hasn't really done what Larva wanted it to do, to be honest.
Well, this is a weird map to do a strategy like this because there's that safe back natural that you can take. Ordinarily, if you were doing this on a more traditional map, this would prevent a Protoss player from taking that natural in the first place. But here, Bisu can just expand safely behind it. But it should be noted that young Hong9, which is his old ID, Larva has actually expanded as well, taking a 3rd base, so he's not actually trying to kill Bisu right now.
Yeah, he's going up to 3 bases immediately, but the thing is he doesn't have a super lot of flexibility as to what he can do. The probe is going to stay alive for an extremely long amount of time.
Right.
There's going to be a Stargate put down here. 100% Bisu will go Stargate off of this. It's a great thing, right? You're going to get some Overlords. You're going to continually get that scouting intel, and Larva is going to be in trouble because of this.
Right. So this is the period of time where Larva has come out with his opening gambit, and it hasn't really done a whole lot. So Bisu, you were talking about how easy it normally is for Protoss players to get 3 bases on this map. Well, maybe this is just Larva's way of saying, look, I know that this is what the way that this map traditionally goes. Let's just try to stop that from happening quite as quickly.
Well,
He did sacrifice a lot to do it, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Bisu will generally just always get the Stargate relatively early. He just the thing about Bisu is he doesn't really lose to anybody, right? Except for like Flash. So he doesn't even have to be too greedy, even, though this could be a map to do such a thing on. Just getting that Corsair out and doing his normal tech tree is going to give him, especially in this situation, a big advantage. Because, I mean, just look at what the opening was, right? A 9 pool that didn't really do anything. 2 drones. Not only did a 9 pool, 1 drone had to sit on the ramp right at the beginning. And then another drone had to come down and fight against the probe for a bit. And it's just the economy has already been stifled. He's already had to make a lot of Zerglings, which is less drones even on top of that. Now he's going to start losing Overlords. He'll lose 1 or 2 Overlords this Corsair.
Yeah, and it's going to be a little bit of rough for Larva for a while. Also, 3 Zealots kill basically infinity Zerglings, so you definitely want to be careful and put some respect on those names. Keep them keep an eye on where they are, because all of a sudden things can definitely turn upside down if you lose too many Overlords. You get supply blocked. The Zealots maybe get behind your mineral line, and then it's like, well, okay, what do I do now?
Now he's making Hydras right now. So is he just making a few to defend the front here against the Corsair? Okay, yeah, he's adding another hatch. I was wondering because he got the layer, sometimes you will see Zergs do crazy all-ins where they're like, okay, here's a Hydralisk upgrade and let's go!
Yeah, it's always important to keep an eye on how many hatcheries the Zerg player has. You don't just put hatcheries near minerals. No, there's lots of macro hatches. And currently, I've only seen, it looks like it's
going
5
to
hatch.
5 now.
Yeah. Now, recently, and I think J-Dong did this as well, I've been seeing a lot of 6-hatch Hydra play, just when you really want to put a lot of aggression on. But he only has 5 right now, and I guess that's more at least what I'm used to seeing.
Well, his economy was a little bit stifled, right? So this game has been a little bit funky. We could eventually see him go for a 6. I don't think that we will. He'll probably take the 4th base with his 6 hatchery in a game like this, I would say. But right now he's kind of keeping everything back. Bisu just teching up. He's got his Forge about to finish, the Temple Archives as well, as we see here, and everything looking completely fine here for Bisu.
Wow, yeah, Bisu's saturation is just off the charts. Pushing out now to finally hope to take this 3rd base, and let's have that Bisu Dark Templar at the front door. Nothing quite as scary as that.
Yeah, that DT will at least give him a bit of map control for the time being. Picks off a couple of Zerglings. Doesn't really need to hide the fact that he has DTs. That's something that Larva will be prepared for anyways, knowing it's Bisu.
That's like trying to hide the fact that you have Corsairs. It's like, well, no, you're just kind of going to get those. I'm going for the Corsairless PVZ build.
It's extremely rare to see Bisu not make a DT. This guy is the master of DT Sair. Couple cannons going down. I love it, man. Bisu is he's being solid and steady. The couple of cannons will just kind of help out his Zealots to keep everything secure while he gets that Psystorm finished up.
Yep.
The Corsair's already at +1. He sees that there's a Spire out, so he's kind of ready for that at this point.
Oh, the Zerglings actually kind of break through. They pick off a probe, and if they can come in here and stop some of these cannons from coming up or harass them, then maybe that sets up for a Hydra follow-up.
Yeah, that's what that looked like. The way that he poked in there, it really makes me think, oh, are you just planning 5-hatch Hydra and go? But can he get that done, right? Because it's Bisu already has some High Templars out. It doesn't seem like he should get broken anytime soon here, but Larva's just taking another base.
Yeah, well, the observer's pointing out that every single Larva is in production. There's nothing waiting around. So a big swell of something is about to come out from Larva. Is it going to be Hydras to go for a big bust, or are they just some drones mixed in there continuing to macro up?
Yeah, we'll see that in just a moment here. The Zealots running out, taking some control of this map, and I think we should have enough units that it shouldn't be a big issue.
Right,
this would be
target.
A sick catch.
Oh, and he doesn't see it in time. Okay, there we go. The instant reaction and coming around, but the Corsair's perfect placement. Pick off exactly enough pick off one of those and keep the shuttle alive.
Well, 2 more come up. They actually get their connection right there with the Corsair, so that's nice. But yeah, man, the fact that he saved that shuttle is actually very important.
Super important. Now, that shuttle is one of the most impressive parts of Bisu's play, at least layly. It's how he absolutely wiped the floor with Baxter, dropping these like crazy DTs that just get insane damage done. He did it to Jaedong as well in one of the games that they played at BlizzCon. So you really have to respect that shuttle. Like, nobody is quite as scary with those shuttle DTs as Bisu.
And I love this move that we see here, right? Like, he drops out the DT and the Hydras are down here, flanks with the Zealots. He's just like trying to punish Larva any way he can.
Yeah.
Some Zergs would have just lost 2-3 Hydras there. Larva does get away this time, but Bisu is making every little move possible to try to gain more edges.
Indeed he is. He's going to be a dodecahedron, or whatever you want to call those. I looked up like the most cited regular polygon shape the other day, and it has 16 syllables. Okay. That's what I remember. I can't actually say what it is.
Would that really be the most? Can't you just get bigger shapes that have more?
What happens is like it starts to get like compressed, or like you can't quite fit as many. It depends on like how many vertices like you have. I don't know. I think I was.
But you do max out eventually.
Depends on the shape how early you max out. At least I think that was what I was reading. It was a Wikipedia article, so some 7th grader could have trolled me.
I like that. That's really cool.
I do enjoy my shapes, and certainly the edges. Larva will need quite a few.
Enjoy my shapes too. You're my favorite square rapid.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
You know just what to say, Artosis. I'm gonna go try that pickup line. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure that'll work out for you.
Well, you guys think this is
Should
about
be like,
StarCraft.
wow, you sure are an oblong, aren't you?
Like, you probably also play StarCraft. We're like, why, yes, I do. This is not actually a pro gaming show. This is relationship advice at its finest.
No doubt. The Corsair's actually getting a little bit caught here.
Whoa, that's not where you want. Is there only 2 left?
Yeah, it seems that way.
Oh, maybe even
3.
less here. They're going to run more Hydras. This is scary.
Pretty painful for him to lose that many. Now, it's Bisu, so he'll probably just remake them. He normally doesn't allow his Corsair count to go too low. But this army is really scary.
Now, those Hydras are going to see the entirety of Bisu's army composition. Seize a couple of High Templar. Did they pick one of them off? I think I saw it explode there. That would have been pretty impressive, but either way, he knows what's coming.
Look at Larva's play, though. I gotta say, he's really got himself together with a decent army here. His supply is pretty darn high considering what the game has looked like so far. Not that he's taken damage, but his start was a bit stifled. Look at this. He's getting all of his turtling going. I'm getting chills actually right now, Rapid. This is some solid play.
Yeah, I like it. He's got plenty of base. I think he's up to like 7 hatcheries. Look at the
micro.
Storms, not really getting a lot done there.
Like, he storms. Larva had pre-pulled back the bulk of his Hydras. 2 Hydras got damaged by a Bisu storm. That's not very much.
You know, Bisu's storms like end lives. When John Cena was making his theme song, he's storming on people like thunder and lightning, and that's exactly what Bisu is doing here. Trying to break up the ramp, but decent dodges there. Those observers, gotta watch out for those. If all your observers go down, that is really bad. It looks like 1 survives.
All right, good micro by Bisu to have an additional observer left over here, but he's lost 4 High Templars now. This is simply a gateway army, like no spellcasters, so it is not really advisable to truly commit with this, I would say.
And Larva has a lot coming up. He's got everything connected by Nidus networks, and so he will be able to most likely hold this up. Now, he has lost that high ground, and there is another force of gateway units coming out for Bisu, so the supply could get a little sticky here, as Bisu has about 50 advantage.
I'm loving this as well. Like, I mean, Bisu is holding the high ground. He's rallying more units up, but we have a lot of Scourge in here and a lot of Overlords, so he's going to be able to pick off observers, and if you don't have observers against well-spread lurkers, it becomes very hard to break.
All right,
so with just 1 observer, Bisu really has to be careful to keep that alive.
Oh, he loses it! Oh my god, that's the last observer. All right, so now Bisu can't even do anything with his superior force.
All right, he goes ahead and Psystorms 2 of the lurkers, so those are very low.
He also Psystormed all of his Corsairs, so he lost everything in the air.
You're quite right, the Corsairs are gone. That is a big deal as well. More Evos going down, upgrade and everything. I love it. I love Larva Zerg, to be honest. Like, his ZVP is one of my very favorites. Him and Soul here, like, I just love to watch them ZVP.
He's up to like 8, 9 hatches, and he's trying to move forward, but he just can't deal with the lurkers right now. Does he have another observer?
He should have one that's on the way at the moment. He's just trying. Yeah, there it is. And this is the thing. This is what PvZ is. You rally these observers up and you try to keep them alive. Here he comes. He's going to pick that off once again, perhaps. Takes a lot of damage. Wow, that pullback is absolutely amazing.
Look at that control. The observer just moving in and out, weaving everywhere. He's dip dodge, diving, and I don't know the other D, but he's doing it all. Loses it finally. He actually might lose the other one again. No more observers for Bisu.
And that is a solid hold right there for Larva. Really doing a fantastic job. Bisu just now starting his 4th base. Like, if he had started the 4th before that, maybe he's in a different spot, but I am liking where Larva's at. He's done a good job with his defense thus far.
Absolutely.
And his supply is staying very close to Bisu's.
And that's what you were praising him for earlier, Artosis, just being this really solid defensive Zerg player, and you can see it paying off. I mean, this is a map crossing field where you see Protoss players take very early 3rd bases, but he kept Bisu off the 3rd, and now his 4th is extremely late as well.
Well, Bisu's taking that 4th. It looks like Larva wants to go in and poke it, but I don't think he's really going to get too much done here. That side storm perfectly plays. Yeah, that's some beautiful defense right there.
He's going to kill the cannons with the storm, Artosis.
Imagine if Storm did damage to buildings. Oh my gosh.
There was a game that thankfully does not exist publicly where I was learning Brood War for the first time and thought it would just be really cool to storm my opponent's buildings, and I just thought there was a bug that didn't deal damage. It totally should have.
Wow.
Yeah, thankfully that got taken care of earlier. But yeah, so Storm does kill pretty much everything, but Bisus have looked a little bit off today.
Yeah, well, you know what? Looking at this right now, Bisu, obviously, he's keeping up with his macro. He's making a lot of great units. His 4th base, he's going to be mining from that now.
Right.
The map is a little bit small after the 4th base. The 5th becomes hard to take, and those middle bases just generally don't really get taken. That's a really weird scenarios where you see those mining, I would say especially in this matchup, right? So we're kind of getting to endgame for crossing field PvZ. So it's going to be cool to see where does Larva go with this. Like, for instance, we've seen Sulky play this map in the late game. He likes to take that 5th, just turtle the hell out of everything. Don't let Protoss get into that area.
That is correct, Artosis. Eventually, it does become about who has access to minerals, to gas, to these bases, and maybe we will see some of the final fights be over those middle bases. But it is going to be a long road to get there. And for Bisu, he's kept trying to press in, trying to deal damage to Larva's forces, but he just hasn't been able to make it work. Now, finally, sending in 2 shuttles. Not sure exactly what's in there, but there's Scourge just waiting.
Oh God, this is such a good move. That is
Larva.
What a big deal.
I just can't believe it. He knew exactly what to prepare for.
Yeah.
Realized the shuttles were coming instantly, saw them with his Zerglings, picked both of them off.
And the thing is, Bisu even waited. Like, his defense against shuttles this game has been impeccable. Bisu always gets shuttles into people's bases. Not this game. He even waited for the speed on the shuttles and can't get through. So, Larva, I mean, this defense, man, this is just fantastically done.
He is literally airtight, tight against air, and of course on the ground, great defenses there as well. He's done a great job sniping off observers, sniping off shuttles. Like, what do you do when that fails?
Well, I mean, if Bisu, if he wants to push through with brute force, it comes down to fantastic side storms. He might have to get some Reavers in here as well. Like, eventually you kind of need to have every single tool at your disposal, especially considering we now have Defilers out here for Larva.
That's very true. Now, Archons and Zealots do both deal damage under Dark Swarm, so that's at least going to be helpful. But here we go, loading up for a huge drop.
Yeah, this is nice from Larva, but we saw Bisu already has been adding a lot of cannons. He's putting Zealots in his main base now. This is extremely predictable. As soon as the game slows down at all in this matchup, if it's a big macro game, drops are going to come because Protoss buildings die in 2 seconds to late game Zerg, basically. Like, when you have Adrenalings, everything will die in your base. So he's already got the cannons, he's already got Zealots in his base. This is good defensive play by Bisu, but that doesn't mean the drop won't do any damage.
Now, he does have another shuttle coming out on the map, but wait, there's a huge plague on these Zealots. It's going to soften them up quite nicely. With the Zerglings just trying to slow down this force. Here comes a huge Doom drop from Larva.
That is a gigantic drop. Even Scourge is that observer that was spotting
God.
it. Really on top of everything like this. Some Defilers coming out here as well, so that can help a lot. But Bisu pushing towards the natural of Larva now. He has these Reavers in his army. A lot of Psystorms going down. Archons here as well. What a scary army of Bisu.
Every single splash damage unit in the Protoss arsenal being brought to bear at his front door. Back in the main, though, Larva has found purchase inside. So this is going to have to be an attack that does a lot of damage. Scourge searching for observers in the air, and with the lurkers flanking from around the side, Bisu's army is getting taken out.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage here. He still has those 2 Reavers up. They'll get a few more kills in there, the Archons as well, but with that Darkstorm going down, with Larva just flanking from all directions, Bisu's attack is done.
And like basically every WCS caster has a pylon there. That's a lot of them all clumped together, powering everything. So nothing's unpowered. The infrastructure is still in place, but it looks like both attacks have kind of simultaneously been dealt with. I really like how Larva has played this, but he did lose a lot of armies to that attack. Still, I feel like he's got a good advantage now. This base, I can't imagine it falling. These Zealots running up. Oh, nice move by Bisu. He actually runs past. He's going to try to target it down. Yeah, those are +3 Zealots. They will. They're basically the Protoss cracklings. They will kill things so quickly. Will he be able to take this hatchery out? It's going to be so close. No! He saves it with 15 health.
That's too crazy. He drone drilled through those a few times to make that happen. One more Zealot hit, and it's chills, man.
Insanity.
Serious chills. That was super close. Thing is, it was a good move by Bisu. He knows that Larva's gaining a big edge.
Yeah.
He can't let him have that base, but now he has that base.
I mean, we're talking about how this game will come down to resources, and their Larva is taking a base that, like you said, Bisu cannot let him have. Bisu's trying to do the same thing, but it always seems like he's just been a base behind where he wants to be this game. And, okay, all right, congratulations.
I love it.
Only Bisu would choose to kill a hatchery that way.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, man. Oh, no! That was so close. He gets out the High Templar, but doesn't get a storm off. Ouch!
Man, Larva is just killing it this game. By it, I mean Bisu at every turn. We might lose that Defiler out in the middle of nowhere, but
possibly. But the army of Larva is just really good right now, and Bisu's lost a lot of his high-end units. I mean, look at this kind of little podunk army he has out in the middle here.
What is he going to take? 4, 5, 6 storms to kill off everything here?
Yeah.
This is just going so well for Larva. The first attack that Bisu did, he was up like 60 supply. Then the next one, they were even, and now Larva has the advantage. I mean, as a Protoss player, I think you're basically just always supposed to have that edge over the Zerg.
Yeah, I mean, oh, LOL, okay. Least impactful spell of all time.
They have 9 less hit points now, Artosis.
Irradiating the Archon actually would have done better.
Then it's just like a
then
blue
you might
blob
have gotten
on
a High
green
Templar,
blob.
possibly.
Oh my.
Irradiated Archons, nothing kills Zerglings quicker than that.
Wow.
But yeah, okay, so anyways, Larva's starting to attack. This is a huge amount of units coming in right now. Speed Shuttle coming down. Reaver inside, so, nice Scarab hit right there.
Yeah, I thought that would have been a little bit better, but he's defending very, very nicely. Drops the Reaver just in time to get beautiful shots here. Bisu defends on time.
Yeah, Bisu's trying to piece together an army right now, but it does get a little bit difficult, and there's obviously that back natural that has like a half geyser worth of gas in there. It makes you think like, oh, shouldn't he have a few more High Templars? Nah, that depletes pretty quickly. And looking at this army, like Bisu still is putting together a kind of fearsome force. But when you get to these really high supplies, you don't want Zerg to have as much supply as he has here.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing scarier than a maxed out Zerg army. I was seeing some videos from BlizzCon where they made it unlimited unit selection.
Yeah.
And seeing some of the crazy things that people would do that. Thankfully, Zerg can't do that in the regular build. Otherwise, I think they just basically win every game.
I heard about that. Well, for sure, man. Imagine grouping all your Zerglings on one key.
Just select
the things
like
you could do.
100 supply of units, LOL, cracklings in your face. That would be insane. But right now, Larva does have to control a lot of units. It's pretty difficult to do. Gotta make sure they don't clump up against these Reavers. Okay, that was not as big a scarab shot as Bisu might have hoped for, but he does have just enough to keep pushing Larva back.
Oh man, Larva has a lot though. Coming up this hill and down the other side. He's gonna be able to pick off the rest. That should be just about it.
I think that's it. Yeah, GG. Bisu taps out Larva, bringing it back.
Sick game. Really great game, man. Like, the initial 9 pool was a little bit of a failure, but I mean, he comes right back into it. I felt like Bisu played a very, very nice game, but there was great moves from Larva as well, picking off all the observers, that turtle position just before Bisu's
shuttles
attack.
at the end.
That, you're right, that was a big moment as well. Just great play this game. I'm loving that style from Larva, and Bisu, he might be feeling a little bit bad right now, to be honest, after that bashing.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, a couple of days ago, the Protoss player shuttle got married, so that was a good day for Shuttle. Today is not a good day for Shuttles, Artosis.
Well, until the end, those 2 shuttles were together, Rapid.
Yeah, shed a single tear for those shuttles, but wow, it's even, 1 apiece, and coming into game number 3, this is starting to get maybe a little bit scary. Everybody thinking that Bisu has a big advantage in this matchup, but Larva has come to play.
Certainly has. We'll see. Gold Rush going to be our next map, but first, commercial break is incoming. Guys, spread the word. This could be Bisu's last professional match.
Yeah, have to watch this. We'll be right back.
Like a million.
All that we want to say, the pain we hold inside. Darkens a distant sky, close on the horizon. Are you holding your breath for the strike that comes next? Getting ready.
welcome back to the ASL.
That was a nice greeting there, guy in the crowd. Big fan. And of course, a big fan of all of you watching there online. Lots of fans of these two players playing tonight. That guy, very popular streamer, Larva, and of course his opponent, Bisu. Possibly his last series ever in StarCraft Remastered.
I mean, he's going to do some military service pretty soon, so
yeah,
this could be it for him. Will he get third or will he get fourth? What will his legacy be?
Well, you know,
well, unchanged, truly, but a great match tonight against Larva at least.
That is very true. You know, Larva previously before this tournament had never made it this far in a tournament basically ever, in a major StarLeague at least. And so this is a really big deal for Larva. How far truly can he go? He has just been killing it, working super, super hard to get to this place, but he has to face kind of his final boss here in Bisu, who is just a legend in this matchup, and now coming into a map that I think will favor him maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Bisu has just really been killing it on this map, but then again, Larva has as well.
But yeah, I think it's a little bit more favored for Larva. I think it's kind of tough, actually. Even though Bisu, you're right, he's been killing it here. But he's kind of like Flash in the regards of like, why do you kill it here? Well, because you're better than everyone. But Larva, his ZVP, I think, is a very tough one for Protosses to deal with. I feel like him and Sulky just play these styles, man, where they end up turtling up a bunch. Like there's just not this window to kill them. And Bisu had a hard time with that last game. We'll see if he can deal with him here on Skull Desert.
ASL Season 4.
Gotta make sure I go. I was wrong. I can tell for the heart can be blind and frozen. Now I live with the pain every night, every day. As I
Alrighty. Let's see. Larva here. Of course.
They're spawning in close positions, Artosis. It's almost like they do that every game. Of course, that's Bisu.
Here.
I'm just really excited after that second game. It's been a long time since I've seen Larva just look that on point. He just really never missed a beat.
Yeah, he was, like, all of his defenses were at perfect times. You notice, like, for instance, of course, the first two Scourge that caught the first shuttle and didn't kill it, but, right? He
kind of bruised it.
Yeah, and then he kind of, like, zoned it out of ever getting in his main, and then two shuttles came later, and his Scourge were ready for those. In between that time, there was the moment when Bisu started to push with his first really big push, and there was Sunken's just finishing up at the fourth, as well as the Lurker defense.
Perfect timing, yeah.
And then a nice spread where the rally was. And it was like every moment that Bisu attacked during, Larva had everything he needed. You know, there was, like, even when he was attacking with the Observers, right? We saw Observers getting picked off, and then we saw Scourge coming down once the Hydra account got a little bit thinner to help pick off those Observers. It was just like, he always had what he needed. It was just, it's super impressive. Maybe it looks easy, guys, because you see, like, oh, you just get your Sunken's Lurkers in the right time. No, it's really super duper hard. Very few Zergs can do this against Bisu.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only did Larva have the answer to every sort of move that Bisu tried to make, but he was also able to make the moves necessary to take Bisu out, getting that sick drop into his main to work and finding a way to make it happen. The guy's cheering for a 3-0. He's going to be disappointed because tonight's games are going the distance.
I think so. He's a very good chance.
From Australia.
Or, I mean, it just says AUS,
or from
right?
Austria, right?
Austria with a kangaroo. Possibly.
One of the two.
Tasteless would be quite sure of
I
that.
think they also have kangaroos in Austria, right, Artosis?
Probably there's like a zoo that has one or something.
He's probably talking about those.
Yeah.
I decided. Okay, all right, so we've got opening builderinos there, pro blocking the natural expansion, so he's going to have to take a different base. Takes his natural a little bit further out. The Bisu probe, getting work done.
Yeah, Ling's going to be chasing that around for a little bit now. Ooh!
Whoa! Okay. Nobody denies a Bisu probe, Artosis.
Dude, that was good.
Wow.
That was was really good.
Oh my
That was like
God.
superb drone blocking. Guys, and he meant to do that. That was like 100% on purpose. Larva was going to go down to make the hatchery, but he's like, let me see if I can't screw up this probe, right? He's not looking for even a second or one misclick, and it's just done.
Man, I outplayed Larva so hard. He doesn't know I brought a second pair of pants, man. These plays are just so sick, catching people off guard. And I mean, Bisu is like really renowned for his probe micro. I mean, you think about what is the unit that Bisu is maybe most well known for, maybe Dark Templars, but also, I gotta say, probes. And man, great job there. Now Bisu just will not have really any idea what to expect for right now unless he can get this probe in. And, oh man!
Imagine if that happened again, how hilarious that would be.
That's so cool of Larva. Just have drones out there looking to glitch these probes out.
Now, you know, this probe being out here, like Bisu did have to send another probe. Should he dive in and try to get into the main base? He knows that that's very hard. There could be a drone sitting there, and then his probe glitches. The Zerglings might be able to get it at that point. But he needs to do things like this just to watch for early attacks. Like, just keeping a probe alive in front is very valuable, right? You see if there's a pool of lings popping out. You know, he can see the rallies out of that hatch at least.
Oh,
and look,
drone
see, there comes that
right
drone
there
again.
to block the ramp. And, man, denying Bisu again.
Okay, this is all going to come out and put some pressure on here as well, but 4 lings were made, so... Oh, passing like ships in the night right there. No, turns it around.
Yep. Just kind of avoiding it. Now, finally, they will find it. So continuing to try to stop this. Now, this reminds me a lot of when we saw like a Shine play Flash in the finals of last ASL, where you commit so hard to denying scouting. Oh, look at the drone block again.
Seriously, he just blocked all the holes in his minerals with the drones. Larva, man, he's really coming into his own right now. This guy is a serious force to be reckoned with.
He's controlling each individual Zergling to get it for these perfect, like, Warcraft 3 surrounds. Like, it's just, it's insane.
But without Warcraft 3's, you know, just, what do you call it? AI, there you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still jet lagged. But no, I mean, the Warcraft 3 AI this is hard, man, to do this with StarCraft 1 units, get them to surround like this, move the drones in front of the holes like that.
Larva's going to figure out a way to, like, land his mutas so they turn into stone form and heal. That's,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Bringing it back.
That's how it would happen. Also, then, surprisingly, Todd is instantly the best at this game. Like, crazy things can happen. But for at least this game, Larva is just playing like a literal god. He's got Hatchery beginning to block there in the front at his natural, starting to build a wall there and make sure that he's not too vulnerable. First Corsair coming out from Bisu. Gonna get a couple of Charity Overlords, but shouldn't last too much longer.
No, he sees that the Spire is going to be finishing. We should see probably 4 Scourge pop out. It's pretty much the norm. Chase that stuff away. But in the meantime, Bisu will continue to build up that Corsair count quite a bit. That's very much the way Bisu likes to play it. Looks like he wants to get reasonably quick. Sidestorm, notice a cannon in the main base next to that Stargate. That is to stop Scourge from camping on top of his Stargate. And this will, I would imagine, it's going to be the last one he'll kill.
Whoa!
Wow, Bisu.
Totally worth it. Losing the Overlord, but taking out a Corsair. He even has another flight of Scourge headed to intercept maybe a rallied Corsair to that group at the same time.
Yeah, he might be trying to catch this one as it goes home as well. This is a really good move.
Yeah, he's going to intercept this, and he gets it perfectly.
So that was, when the Lings ran down, guys, like, the thing is, he sent them on an angle towards the base, right? So he knows the general retreat path, and then the Lings were coming down to spot exactly where the Corsair was, and that gave him all the information he needed to catch that. And here's the thing, like, Bisu is good enough to not lose those 2 Corsairs, and I don't want to make excuses. Larva's playing brilliantly, but, oh my god.
Is he surrounding that without having vision? How does it work?
But yeah, I mean, Larva is playing, like, really, really well right now, and Bisu losing those first 2 Corsairs, that's a lot of gas.
It really is.
And Bisu does not ever feel comfortable in small amounts of Corsairs. This guy just keeps making them if you kill him.
Well, about Bisu feeling comfortable, recently Flash streamed a VOD review of his games versus Bisu the other last week, and one of the things that he highlighted in several key instances, he pointed out moments where he felt like Bisu was a little bit nervous, where he made either micro mistakes or where he made decisions that illustrated he's just a little bit off, a little bit tilted.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I've really been paying attention to for Bisu. It's like, how can he maintain the mental fortitude that it takes to play a best-of series in StarCraft?
That's super interesting. Was there like a quality translation, or
Yeah.
did someone partially translate this?
There's a thread on Team Liquid. It's called the Translated VOD thread,
Yeah.
and it goes through and it translates a lot of pro StarCraft reviews of other games, whether it's pro players restreaming ASL matches or players going over their own ASL matches, and just really insightful to hear some of Flash's comments about his games versus Bisu.
I would really love to see that one about the Bisu one, because especially like if Flash says that about Bisu, the thing is he respects Bisu to such a degree. It's like,
oh, definitely.
You know, if Bisu doesn't make the perfect choice, then that's where Flash is probably saying, okay, he wasn't, there was something wrong here, because Bisu makes the perfect choice a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So
almost
really
no
cool
other
to
two
hear.
players know each other better than like Flash and Bisu.
Oh,
These guys
yeah.
have played each other thousands of times.
Yeah, the rivalry between them is huge.
Oh, but here comes the Bisu DTs getting in it.
Nice.
Oh, Bisu doesn't notice it. It's killing so many drones. Almost every single drone there. Only 4 survive.
Wow, really sick DT there. The one in the main base doing much less. But Bisu's taking another base during all of this as well. That's really important to get that third gas up. He's got those high Templars out right now as well. Larva is taking his own 4th. Looks, okay, kind of interesting spots that he's taking them.
Yeah, he's kind of getting the and one, the extra base up there in the upper left-hand corner. That's pretty safe to take as long as your opponent doesn't have like fleets of shuttles roving around. And with as big of an air force as Larva has, he should be relatively aware of what's coming his way. Although, does he see this big force of Zealots out on the map?
Yeah, I think his Hydra is brushed by, so it looks like he's maybe setting up a flank at this point. Oh, wow, and speed is actually not done for these Zealots.
And this is a big way that Bisu started to struggle against Jadong, and I think it was their third or fourth, losing a bunch of Zealots way out in the middle of the map. Now, I mean, that time it was to delay for cannons to get up, but this time, if he loses those Zealots in the middle of the map, I mean, all of a sudden there's nothing to stop a big Hydra bust like this.
Yeah, look at this. Okay, a Scythe Storm to push him back for the time being, but he's a little bit contained right now. This is very, very annoying for Bisu to kind of be sitting way back. He has no real control of the map, just the Corsairs flying around currently. And it looks like he wants to lock out his back entrance as well. He doesn't want to have to worry about that at the moment.
Just killing off that Overlord that's kind of guarding that base. And actually dealing with the Assimilators at the same time up top. Trying to make sure that he is has an avenue to get in there and harass that upper left-hand base. But here comes the big flight of skirts. How many of these will land? It looks like almost every single one of them, and even the Hydras on the ground, picking off these precious Corsairs.
Look at this. He's really spending a lot of money on killing these to get this DT in right now, but another Overlord already ready. So he's going to be able to deal with that. So, I mean, he did a little bit there, but actually lost more Corsairs and DTs really than I feel like is worth it.
Yeah, no, I mean, Bisu, this series has just been really, I don't want to say careless, but maybe you can couch it the other way and say Larva has just been doing a great job picking off Corsairs and keeping them from reaching these insane critical numbers to get you supply blocked and just cripple you.
Larva's defense has been very close to perfect in these games. Not game 1 against the Cannon Rush. There were a couple little errors there, I guess, with jumping the drone at first. But, I mean, game 2, game 3, man. We saw that one DT get a decent amount of kills at the third base. Other than that, the defense of Larva's been really, really fantastic.
Now, Bisu, at the same time as he's dropping off both of these Dark Templars, he's trying to get Zealots into engage and distract, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to kill off every single drone at that expansion while he pushes out with these Zealots, and there's nothing that Larva can do. He doesn't notice it. He doesn't even see them.
Nope, he does not. That's such critical damage. And look at this. Okay,
oh,
so
no!
Hey, remember that thing I said about the perfect defense? Bisu just massacred him on all fronts. Like, he pushed the Hydras back in the front. He has to turn around now, but he storm drops the natural and kills everything at the 5th base with 2 DTs. Like, Bisu's in great shape here.
No, this is just incredible. All it takes is one to work, and then does he have enough energy? I think he's
now he does. Now he does.
75. No!
Oh, that's brutal.
This is insanity. And when you take that big of an economic hit, you think, okay, well, I got to go try to deal damage on my own right now. No, you can't do it. Bisu's got Dark Templars basically everywhere. Oh, and okay, wow, those spikes will do it. That's one way to kill off Memphis Talent.
Yeah, seriously. Well, he comes down with his reinforcements, and Bisu could possibly lose this base, but with the amount of drones he killed, it's still going to be okay. Like, I like where he's at still. You know, how many drones did he truly kill? He killed a hatchery, and there had to be at least 12 drones up there, 12 to 15, right? Then he killed like 5, 6 in the net, 5, 6 in the main. Just, that is a ludicrously large amount of drones.
It's like a third at least of his entire drone supply. Like,
yeah, possibly even more than that. Yeah,
he would have been up around like 60 drones maybe at that point. I mean, it might be a little high.
Oh man,
he just 5 bases running.
Crazy damage from Bisu coming out.
So here's some lurkers actually, I don't want to say getting caught there, but there's only like 1 or 2 observers here. So if Larva can pick off this relatively low observer count, here he comes, scourging one of them. There's still 1 more left behind it. Larva's been great at picking those off all series long, but looks like Bisu's control is a little bit better this time.
Oh man, he's coming right in for this base. This is where most of the drones for Larva remain. So if Bisu can get in here and kill this, it's a big deal. The rest of Larva's army starting to come down right now. Beautiful side storm on those Lings and Lurkers. Clears them in a matter of seconds. Another great side storm goes off, and dude, Bisu is crushing.
He really is Artosis. Now there is only 1 observer. If Larva can get that, maybe that buys him the time, but he doesn't have any more lurkers left. It's only Hydras on the ground. The supply dwindling. Bisu crushing through Larva's army.
Just about a critical mass here of these Dragoons, and Archon does pop open. Zealots being rallied down as well, and it just seems like Larva doesn't quite have enough of anything.
Oh my god, Larva's about to hear the thunder because the lightning is just struck. GG, Larva taken out. Game number 3 goes to Bisu.
Dude, he was doing great until that DT drop. That 2 DT drop into 2 High Templars as well, like, man, all at once. See, that's how Bisu wins all the time. On crossing fields, we saw every shuttle denied, right? And crossing field is a little bit more straightforward for where the shuttles are going.
Right.
Whereas Skull Desert is, you know, it's kind of spread out. The bases are all over the place. You don't have good land routes to everything.
It's got that sort of ring around the outside of the map, like Outsider, where you can push things through.
Very much so.
Make a way that way. But man, no, Bisu just killing it that game. Brood War, a game where even if you are the better player, you still have to cross your T's and dot your I's. Because if you don't, you lose everything to 1 drop like that.
This is where Bisu's true power comes in. Like, he will kill everything at once. He will, like, that was 4 areas he hit. He hit the 5th base with the DTs, he hit the main and natural High Templars, and he was hitting the front with Zealot High Templars. So it was like, man, if you can't hold on to all that at once, Bisu's going to kill you.
I mean, truly, no one multitasks as well as Bisu does. And when you have that advantage over your opponent, you use it exactly like that to take him out.
Well, fantastically played. Bisu takes the lead in this series once again, up to 2-1. So if he wins 1 more map, this will go to him. He will secure the 3rd place in what might be his final ASL. But I don't think Larva's done yet, man.
You know, this is where Larva really has to, you know, pull out MJ's secret stuff to power up as we head into what could be the final match in this 3rd and 4th place series.
걸었는데 9번을 저항해. 그래서 제가 넷마블에 고객센터에 전화를 해서 서은경 씨와 통화를 했어요.
그만 좀 전화하래요. 한 번씩 그 팀장급들은 그 CS 센터에서 일일 체험을 하게 합니다. 얼마나 힘들게 일하는지를 니랑 다 겪어봐라. 또 여기 나와. 야, 이 야! 내가 지금 800만 원을 썼는데! 97만이면 이거 무조건 잡죠. 무조건. 저는 이거 50만 대 하루에 30마리씩 잡고 다녀요.
이거
근데 가디언은 이제
시스는 밑에 독을 뿌려요. 트레저 헌터기 때문에 못 잡는다.
갑자기요? 지금 잡을 수 있다고 다 투표를 했는데 갑자기 밑장국 빼기하냐?
이걸 써야 되나?
아닙니다. 갑니다. 마파 안 썼어요? 안 씁니다. 26
여기서 한 번만 올리고 한 번만 더 올리고 한 번만 더 올리고.
만약에 여기서 제가 맥스를 찍지 못한다면은 저 강남 사거리 가서 108배 해야 됩니다. 죽어! 안 죽어! 몇 번을 죽었나? 나왔어!
아니 이걸 어떻게 이렇게 발라야지 웃긴 거 아니야? 이게 여기서 이렇게 흘러야 되는데.
다음 계속 나와 이거! 세 번째 방송 돌아올게요. 안녕히 계세요. 안녕.
면도날이 있습니다. 일중날, 이중날, 많은 날, 날카로운 날, 온통 면도날 뿐이군요. 오, 이건 면도날이 아니군요. 이건 쉴드입니다. 윤활 밴드가 아래에 하나, 위에 또 하나. 질레트 퓨전 프로 실드. 면도날이 지나가기 전과 후 작용하는 이중 면도 보호막으로 질레트 최적의 부드러운 면도. 질레트 프로 실드. 남자를 위한 최상의 선택.
적은 최강자 저그전 적은 에너지를 살아남고 거기다 상영올라 이몽규 선수만을 잡아내면서 결승전으로 갑니다. 절대신 유일신 ASL에서 득하는 최강자 이영호 선수의 그 명성답게 까다로운 상대 어려운 상대 김태균 선수를 잡아내고 결승 진출을 이뤄냈습니다.
Dude, I just love StarCraft, man. What a great game.
Is it not a great game? It is a great game.
It is a fantastic game. 1 and 2. The best 2 games ever made.
I did Nartosis where I asked the question and then answered it immediately.
Yeah, dude.
It works pretty well. It's a good strat. Much like Bisu's strats are pretty good, he really crushed it that third game. Got 1 DT in and then storm drops to follow. Hit everywhere at once. Tokyo drifted through Larva's bases, taking out drones right and left. And now Larva literally scratching his beard.
Literally. Hopefully he can pull together his defense. I'd really love to see it go to Game 5. To be honest, I don't really care who gets third place. I just want to see 2 more very good games.
I enjoy this thing called watching good StarCraft, and truly we are all, whether you're here in person or watching online, truly privileged to watch great Brood War players play the hardest game ever made. And it's going the distance here as we get into set 4 on Gladiator.
All right, Gladiator. I'm interested to see how this goes. Like a lot of Protoss quite often veto this one, right?
Yeah, Protoss.
I'm fairly certain he did Bisu veto this one or Gold Rush?
He would have vetoed this one, I believe.
I did, but I can't remember now because I was looking at Larva's veto. I don't know.
We'll find out. Let's get into game number 4, Artosis. I don't know, but we'll find out soon.
Giga Internet ASL Season 4.
Gotta make sure I was wrong. I can tell, for the heart can be blind and frozen. Now I left with the pain every night, every day.
And here we are on the same side of Our map Gladiator, that is Larva. He is spawning as the Zerg player down in the bottom left-hand corner. Upper right-hand corner is our Protoss player, Bisu.
Yes.
Scratching his head.
Okay.
Nice catch there, camera guys. Perfect angle and timing, as always.
I would scratch Bisu's head.
I would too. He is a very attractive young man. Very well dressed here tonight as well. You know what the word is for that? I just learned this. This is the word of the day, Artosis. If you are well dressed, it means you are sartorial.
Sartorial?
Big fan. I believe that has to do with like characteristics with like clothing, if I am not mistaken.
Okay. You are quite sartorial today, to be honest.
Not
this weird suit thing, this half suit that they put us in.
Oh no, my actual clothes that I get to choose.
Oh,
I should have just worn the Artosis shirt up here.
Rapid wore an Artosis shirt to work today. It was like really funny.
It's from Todd's Caster Invitational.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick. It's my good luck charm. I actually wore that while you were gone so that it felt like I was casting with you in spirit, Artosis.
So sweet.
I was wearing Tasteless's jacket and that shirt, and it was like, we got a little tri-cast going on here, but you guys were 10,000 miles away. But now you're back.
Is that how far California is from here? 10,000 miles?
That's Texas. I don't know about California.
Oh, so it'd be probably a little bit less then.
I guess. I don't measure
Texas
these things.
is further away. You don't need to measure it. You can just look at a map.
It's a much big distance, Artosis.
More much big.
I count it. So this is a very lost probe down there, taking the long route, scenic route around every single one of the pizza wedges. You know, while we kind of wait for this game to transpire here, where are we gonna see this? Oh, the drone was hiding. That's not how you play hide and seek, drone. No. Comes out at the worst possible moment.
Blocks the hatch here with the pylon, and will just jaw into the main base here. Sees exactly what he expects. And gonna have to throw down a cannon at home here as well, probably. Oh, actually 2 drones pop out of there. Look.
Okay, wow. So the pylon, will it finish? Okay, no, it's gonna cancel.
Look at that probe micro. Oh my god.
Getting a little bit worried there for a second. Who's gonna like let that pylon finish and go for something else super crazy? But no, just cannoning up back at home and looking for the Forge Passing Span.
So look at that base that we actually see out of Larva. That is a natural expansion to that bottom right main.
Right.
So kind of interesting seeing him take that right away. But it makes a lot of sense. This is a style that Larva quite likes, not necessarily making his first hatch there, but he was blocked, right? So that's fine. But his third hatch, sometimes he does this. And this was actually, I was talking about this because Gold Rush sometimes can be a good map for that, where you make your third another natural. And what happens is, if you can defend that, you get a free 4th. And when you got 4 bases of Zerg, if you're turtling, you can kind of hold on for, I don't want to say forever, but almost forever.
Yeah, whatever is right before forever.
Yeah.
The limit of that thing is forever. It's just like...
There you go. It's
you can be survive for a very long time. And
it's, oh my god, my brain is so slow right now. I'm so sorry. There's this, the asymptote. There we go, asymptote. Okay.
There we go. We got there eventually.
I got it. Woo! Okay.
That can also be the word of the day.
Yeah. If I had not just switched like 12 time zones again, I would have had a really good asymptote joke in there. But anyways, you'll just have to trust me, Rapid. Another time.
All right, we'll save that one for later. It's gonna be like kimchi. You know, it's not good at the beginning. You gotta let it sit and like ferment for a while.
Yes.
That'll come out later, and it will be the funniest joke.
We'll go with that.
All right. So 2 bases, but Bisu thinks it's 2 bases. It's actually 3 because he has not been down there to scout out that sneaky little third at the natural.
He's poking around, taking a look at
He knows
where
that
it might be.
something's up. There's something else out there that he hasn't found yet.
His screen, one of the fun things to do is watch the boxes jot around. And his screen actually jotted to the place it is, so he has an idea that it's there.
He's thinking that there's something down in this bottom right-hand corner, and so the probe will get down there and finally see, there's a base up, and all of a sudden everything just makes sense.
And seeing that, I think that Bisu has to assess this rather quickly, that this absolutely can turn into one of these gigantic kind of turtley games, somewhat similar to what we saw on Crossing Field. And he goes into double Stargate. Look at this.
Ooh, okay, now...
Oh, this is really super awesome. Double Stargate, man. Like, when he goes double Stargate, obviously, you know, the Scourge, if you catch, like, a Corsair when they're going double Stargate, it's almost more powerful in a way because you're trying to get a critical mass of Corsairs where you can just really delete Overlords. You start supply blocking them quite a bit, and their hatcheries are this far apart.
Yeah.
You can get in trouble super fast as Zerg.
Makes it very difficult to defend. And, you know, also, if you're able to keep Overlords out of your base for long enough, then the Zerg player has just no idea how many Corsairs to expect, what tech you're going for. It really becomes a big mystery here. One Corsair really doesn't tell Larva anything, but if Bisu either like builds up, what do you call that, kind of a...
Critical mass?
Yeah, builds up a critical mass of Corsairs. You bust out and kill every Overlord. It's one sad Zerg player right there.
If you get up to 9+1 Corsairs, you one-shot Scourge. So, and Corsairs fire rather quickly. So that's like where it gets pretty crazy.
Would you say they fire rapidly? Yes, they do. Thank you, Artosis.
Like,
there we go.
Yeah, quickly. Oh, I get it.
It was that bad. All right, so here come the first two Scourge. They will be in time to catch that Corsair, but they don't actually, but they do scout both of the Stargates flashing. Actually, one of them is not flashing right now, so that is a very important bit of information for Larva to gain.
Oh, this is super funny that Single Saw is up here, really hurting that mining time a bit. Two more are headed down as well, and we should be seeing, okay, there's some additional Scourge popping out, but I feel like we should be seeing a Spore at the two natural bases, just to kind of keep those Corsairs at bay, keep detection up. When you have this many Corsairs out, once you do get those DTs, you're going to be able to kill Overlords relatively easily.
That is correct. You know, the great SimCity at the natural expansion, beautiful wall being constructed there. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, there's more Spores being morphed, and those are not all going to be sunken. So seeing those, getting that scout, seeing double Stargate, very, very crucial information. And now Larva is just super solid against that. He's got Spores coming up. He's got tons of Scourge in the air. And this is going to be difficult to make work. Although Bisu killing off all those Scourge, he's going to have a great angle on these Scourge as well.
Yeah, look at this. He's really hitting this crazy. Oh, big mistake there.
Heartbreaking.
He's hitting this crazy amount. Look at that double Spore right there as well. But with this many Corsairs, man, look at how many he has. Look at these Scourge just
what are you
blow
gonna do?
up.
Yeah, no, the Scourge just explode.
Well, you're going to stop making Scourge. That's the first thing you're going to do.
I love the double Spores at every single base. Beautiful reaction, and it's the respect.
Well, yeah, otherwise you're going to lose every single Overlord and be permanent supply block. Like, one Spore is not going to stop these. Look at this. Two Spores, he still kills them so quickly.
Oh, and look at what Bisu's doing. He finds out which Corsair is being targeted and is able to pull them back before they die. He did lose one right there, but he saved another 2 or 3, so beautiful control and killing more and more Overlord. Larva's supply blocked at 30.
Yeah, it's so funny because hatcheries give you a supply, right? So you have to have Overlords. It's just that simple. And when Bisu makes this many Corsairs, it becomes hard. So it makes a lot of sense that he's making so many Spores, but now he's got to remake his Overlords. And, you know, as long as he can hold on, he'll be all right.
And keep in mind, I did get confirmation, this Gladiator is the map that Bisu vetoed. So he is trying to not play on here. And now we have gone to game number 4. We are here on the map that he vetoed, and he is coming out with a very strong anti-air strat.
Yeah, you know, I think that this strategy was super specific for this map. And the thing I've seen some Protosses have hard times against Zergs on this map specifically is when they take that third base. Like, how do you defend that as Protoss? If you take that low ground, they're kind of flanking you from 2 sides. And anyways, I like the fact that he's really mixed it up with this double Stargate play that isn't really that common right now.
Yeah, he has stopped making Scourge at home. That's what those two, or he stopped making Corsairs at home. That's what those 2 Scourge were in there to see. And he is just running around trying to hunt as many Overlords as possible while taking a third base behind it.
Okay, that third base, going to be very important for him to get up. Obviously, getting Psy Storm going to be important at this point. And okay, so he's going Robo as well. And obviously, you're going to need a Robo if you're going to do any sort of drop play. Drop play this game would probably be aimed at that bottom right main base.
Right.
The bottom left main that he actually started in, it's kind of like, that's going to be hard to get anything to because there's kind of this area in between where you could get caught. But
running by, the Zealots get pulled out from blocking that. He's going to target this cannon down. A decent surround there. That one Zergling taking it out, and this is going to be difficult to deal with. Lots of great information there for Bisu, or for Larva.
They're going to end up cleaning out these Zerglings finally. Sees those High Templars as well as the Robo. Lots of Hydras out right now, against which the Corsairs are not going to be that helpful, but you do have to bring a lot of Overlords with you, because if he erases them all, then a DT does ruin your day.
Indeed it does. Just now starting an observatory too for Bisu, so he is trying to get, he realizes, he's going to need observers. Post-haste, this is very dangerous probes way out there in the middle of the map, but they will make their way to the third base as it just now gets saturated. Bisu, his High Templar is defending back at home, and as his Dark Templar heads out onto the map.
And this turtle style that we're seeing out of Larva, I just love it. Like this building placement on everything, you just can't really kill him with Zealot-based armies. And that's, I mean, early on in mid-game as well, your army as Protoss is Zealot-based because you need Psystorm no matter what, which just kind of leaves you with minerals to make Zealots. So, like, Larva is very unkillable at the moment.
Yeah, super unkillable. I think that's even, I thought it was a full wall off at the third base that he took down at the 6 o'clock, so he is just really kind of battening up the hatches. Now look at this. Oh man, I thought he was actually going to catch those Corsairs out, but he has cloned a couple of Scourge onto them to kind of chase them away and see what the next move is. Bisu looks like he's trying to press out and maybe head towards that natural expansion, but man, that is just airtight.
Very nice spreading by Larva right now. If you kind of look at the mini-map, sending out blue dots everywhere, just some Zerglings here and there to spot what's going on. He's keeping Overlords with his Hydra groups, picking off any DTs that are on the map.
Wow, look at that. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Sunkens?
His drone count is serious, and I love the little groups of Hydras, like especially that bottom right main. He realizes that is the weak point in his defense, and that's why he's had a bunch of Hydras down there with an Overlord for quite a bit. Like if shuttles try to come in and he picks one off, his lead gets bigger and bigger.
It might sound weird to say that Larva has a lead when you look at the supply and you can see that he's like 50 or 60 supply down, but it's the idea that he has so much infrastructure in place that there's not a whole lot that even this large supply lead that Bisu has can do.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you're clarifying actually, because when I say lead, he doesn't actually technically have a lead, I would say. It's more like the army that Bisu has made can't really kill him, right? So even though he has this huge army supply, Bisu does, what is he going to do with it at the moment?
Bisu got a kind of late observatory, and so I think that was really the only observer he had with his army. There's none out here. Needs to burrow the lurkers, needs to burrow the lurkers, no!
Well,
okay, never mind.
I mean,
that's pretty bad.
That hurts. He just lost like 5 lurkers there. There was a decent sized storm. He did lose a hatch to the Dragoons, which was a really cool move. And that means, of course, that these Sunkens can be attacked a lot more easily by Zealots.
Yeah, if Larva burrows those lurkers, Bisu takes major damage. Like I said, there weren't really any observers out, and so that would have been really significant. But now there's only these tiny clumps of Hydras. Bisu is not afraid of them, and Larva really has to,
well, Larva's running around with like a funny group of units that can't really do too much. And he's lost a lot of his units that were quite important here. So Bisu actually, I mean, he's doing a pretty good job. And with this many eggs about to hatch.
Oh, and I love it. Storming the lurker eggs. Storm does deal lots of damage to those, and just trying to stay alive, trying to secure this base against an incredibly powerful Protoss force.
The burrow on these lurkers a little bit too late here, being completely surrounded. The observer's just sitting there, and Larva just kind of like dying to his own SimCity, dying to his own lurker placement so far here. Like he had, like, if his units are sitting behind all this stuff, he never, ever, 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 ever dies to this.
Right.
But as is, he was kind of out in the map, and I mean, you see what's happened.
Yeah, these storms just being placed perfectly in the funnels that the SimCity creates, and it looks like finally the lurkers do come through the Nidus in time to hang on, but just barely.
And look, the thing is, he still holds on. Imagine if he had 11 or 12 more lurkers, which is what he lost doing nothing with, right?
Yeah, he just
11 or 12 more lurkers, like Bisu doesn't even attack. He's just like, wow, I don't know, I can't do
there's nothing I can do. Yeah, and he's just like,
I may as well go Arbiter. Like, that's,
stasis the lurker.
Do a recall into a main base, maybe? I mean, you're not breaking the front with ground units, that's for sure.
Like, well, gosh, maybe I just build carriers, escape, I don't know. But I love the Lurker Egg morph on the ramp. It's going to take quite a few storms to try to block that. A second morph. Beautiful play, but eventually Bisu breaks through.
Super cool moves by Larva, but unable to take down this Nexus right now.
It was close, though.
And Bisu's up 90 supply, man.
That is quite a bit.
Yeah,
You're going to have to build a lot of Sunkens to make up for that. Bisu has taken this 4th base. Larva is just desperate to try to postpone, but wasn't able to, and things are starting to look good. We talked about how long a Zerg player can survive on 4 bases. We're kind of reaching the end of that period.
Yeah, it is funny too, right? Because again, he lost so many lurkers. I'm not even sure the exact count, right? It was like 5 in the middle, and then we saw something like 9 eggs morphing in front of his 3rd, and those all died doing nothing.
And now he still has maybe like 5 or 6 lurkers in his army, so that's just a lot.
And he's technically still alive, but he does know that this time is kind of running out. He can't sit forever behind these sunks, but he's lost so much army trying to do things at this point that Bisu's just massive supply. It's hard for me to believe that Larva's going to be able to take too much more right now. Like, this base he's trying to take cannot Bisu just run in and kill it?
Bisu's going to run in and presser this base that he has to save while simultaneously dropping Zealots and either High Templar or Dark Templar into the main. No, it's actually all Zealots. They are going to run in and start to massacre this drone line or even pick off key tech structures.
All right, going after that spawning pool right now. Bisu's still moving his army throughout the map. Looks like he didn't want to... he actually forced to cancel, never mind, on that 5th base. So no big surprise there. Oh, God, this could be dirty.
Oh, no, this is a Storm drop. This is a Nestle Wonder Ball drop. You got to open it up and see what's inside. A Storm does come out right on that gas line, takes out several drones, but round number 2 is what's going to be so scary. There it goes. Ooh. Okay, I thought that was going to be way worse.
Those drones were taking a bit to return those minerals. Okay, so the Bisu continuing to have map control right now, but the full tech of Larva is coming out. He's going to have his defilers out at this point. And with those, I mean, it becomes easier and easier for him to get these additional expansions up. Of course, he has a gas space in between all of his bases here. That might be one he wants to go for pretty soon, but also those 2 mineral bases. If he can just kind of like get a little bit more of a foothold, he's going to be feeling a lot better about this game.
And here comes Larva's drone to take that 6 o'clock expansion. And with Dark Swarm out, that is going to make it a lot easier to defend. But, I mean, Zealots still deal damage underneath it. You're seeing these Archons mixed in more and more. And, Psy Storm under Dark Swarm still does damage as well. So Bisu does have options. This is not just going to guarantee him another base.
Ooh, another Kinder Egg shuttle there. Wonder what's inside.
Yeah, that's always the mystery. That's why, I'm kind of glad I did my own little soapbox about things like production tabs and army tabs and things like that while you were gone, but it is, like, the mystery is a large part of the entertainment for me of watching this. It's like, what's in the shuttle? It's like, what's coming out of the gateways or the eggs?
Yeah. What's in the box,
Exactly.
Just like,
there's an entire subreddit dedicated to that, so it's a pretty compelling process.
Certainly it is. Suspense, a great part of StarCraft 1. Corsairs still flying around, still such a fleet of Corsairs, very strong, much wow. But with all these cannons coming up and those Psy Storms there, the rest of the army coming up as well, Larva's not going to be able to break this, and he realizes that quickly and turns around. A very good decision here.
Yeah, there's no shame in running away. Like, even if you lose a few things in retreat, it's better than losing everything and trying to fight a fight you can't win.
What is that quote about the better part of valor?
Discretion is the better part of valor.
The better part of valor. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, he who fights and runs away can run away another day.
Yes. Or fight another day, possibly.
Well, yeah, but
once he runs the Protoss out of minerals.
What is the maximum number of colors of goo in Brood War? I think it's 3, because you've got red goo, you've got green goo, you've got purple goo.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I believe you're right about that. Let me think.
You got,
that's all the goo.
It's Snare, Plague, and Corruption, right?
Well, to be fair, like, Maelstrom is like a yellowy, glowy thing that's almost goo, but
like
not quite goo.
Spinny circle.
It's certainly not goo, but like, I mean, it is like a thing that goes on it, and then Irradiate is not truly goo. It's more of a gaseous-looking thing.
Yeah,
but,
we have a maximum of 2 possible goos in this game, but. Oh, okay. I thought that was GG. I was like, no. This is not when you GG. Sorry.
Oh, certainly not. He's really fought his way back in here after losing all those lurkers and having a hard time getting his 5th up. But he's up at 185 supply. He's got his Defilers. He's got great upgrades going. This is a crazy, epic macro game once again. I'm loving this one.
Just like game number 2, Artosis, you get a chance to see where Larva's true power really kicks in. You know, like how hard he can defend, and even though he did lose a bunch of those lurkers, like imagine if he had kept those lurkers, he's fought his way back. How much farther ahead? How much more far ahead would he be?
Oh yeah, no, well, the thing is, he would have been able. It looks like Larva has to change his mouse, by the way, guys. But you know, if he had those lurkers, he could have either attacked somewhere or taken a position on the map or taken another base more quickly, right? So that would have been very good. But
it all
he kind of, you know, even though he was 90 supply down after that, he kind of just fought back, did a good job, and got himself in this position. I do want to point out that I think one of my favorite moves this game, that group of Hydras that was in that bottom right main base, right? Like he had that group in there. He was kind of. The Corsairs were kind of patrolling over there. They're trying to see, do you have stuff here, right? Like, it was really the only place that Bisu might be able to attack, might be able to get some damage done. I mean, we've seen him drop. He got, like, a spawning pool in the main and stuff, right? Like, he did a little storm drop at the 3rd. Woo! You know. But anyways, this is such an important part. The more Bisu games you watch, the more you'll realize that he oftentimes, even though he does, like, everything super well, a lot of his victories are like a shuttle or two get in and get some sick damage done, and his macro keeps up and his micro keeps up, and eventually the Zerg's like, oh, I just don't have enough.
Yeah.
Right? But
it only takes one.
Yeah, even though Larva lost some units, he's all right. Like, he's lived through that, and this is looking like a great game, man.
Yeah, if you can only take a little damage sometimes, especially against Bisu, that is very, very crucial. So we have switched out Larva's mouse. He is good to go, and it looks like our game will continue as Bisu now is pressing down to try to keep Larva from taking another base. Play goes off on Dragoons and Zealots up top, but great storms on the Hydras down on the bottom. Looks like those Defilers, one of them getting taken out, but here comes that infamous Bisu shuttle.
All right, what can this shuttle get done? Let's see where he goes. To the right.
All right, he does sneak right by that Spore. It is a High Templar that gets dropped. One storm kills off a couple, and the entire drone line getting massacred. The shuttle continues. There's 2 more Dark Templar. Beautiful storms killing everything.
Dude. Whoa. Oh my God, those storms are awesome.
And he's pushing at the same time. Artosis, this is like Larva Bisuing Bisu.
Well, Larva is seeing what he can get done here. It doesn't look like a whole lot. That army, that is a lot of High Templars, Archons, and even Reavers in the mix. So very hard to deal with. This is so funny.
This is
I love it, man.
When you
look at that. Hey,
look...
welcome to Terran.
Hey, yeah. If only Terrans had Archons that could deal damage under Darkstorm, that would be pretty good.
Well, Archons are funny because they are ranged, but they have splash. So things that are underground that, like, for instance, if you have siege tanks attacking a single lurker under Darkstorm, they aren't hitting anything. But they're like just straight missing. But if you're like hitting something next to it, splashing it. Anyways,
that
splash damage in Darkstorms is funny and confusing sometimes. But yeah, that was.
There's a traitor Hydralisk in Larva's army. He consumed it instead of a Zergling just to get that extra energy. But he has rooted out the mole, or the Hydra in this case. And he's got all the energy he needs to keep the push on. He is meeting Bisu head on, applying it directly to his army's forehead, burrowing the lurkers on top of the high ground and pushing Bisu back even through his storms.
Head on.
Yeah.
Well, look at this. The Darkstorm Lurker, very, very good in this situation because this army is so strong except against Darkstorm. Really? Like, I mean, the Archons do a little bit, but you need Psystorm, you need... Oh, man, all his Corsairs dying as well. But you need Psystorm, you need Reaver shots to really clear out this type of army. Zealots aren't going to do this well, so... this is some great positional play that we actually see coming out of Larva here. But Bisu making great moves as well, like having a Robo over here so he can reinforce Reavers at this crucial top right area. This is what Larva has in the bottom left, Bisu's trying to make here in the top right.
Play goes down and catches a lot of the cannons, but look at those Scarabs, man. Just such crucial hits.
Look at how many lurkers he has here. It's crazy. Loses his observers, unfortunately. Great micro by Bisu.
Yeah, good control. His cannons will be very easy to take down, but I mean it's Protoss, so the shields are not degraded by the plague.
That's right. I mean, these still will die quickly, but they add that extra firepower, right? They stall things out so Scarabs can hit them as well. Look at this play. Oh, I love this.
That looks like your Marines, Artosis.
Yeah.
Lots of great splash damage. Oh, a great plague does hit the Reavers. Those are very, very... Oh, wow. He actually saves both of them, even though they had 1 HP. Great control here by Bisu, keeping his base alive.
Dude, he just plagues everything, man. This push by Larva is super scary, but having this many Reavers and their Bisu Reavers.
Now there are a lot of storms here. Can he take down the Lurkers? Looks like a couple do complete their burrow, and now the Crackling's running in under the Dark Swarm.
Oh, those cannons going to be mincemeat in a matter of seconds here, but a counterattack from Bisu going down on the other side. The Reavers should eventually hold on against everything here, which is kind of nice, but where does Bisu actually attack with his main army?
He's got 20 kills on one of those Reavers and 12 on the other, and they both have 2 HP, Artosis.
Look at his upgrades as well. 3-2-2 up against 3-3-3 for Zerg.
Oh my god. All right, trying to snipe off those observers. One does get taken down. There's only one more left in this army. Larva looks like he is kind of getting sandwiched there as his Lurkers do get stormed out. Bisu continuing to press forward. It's 180 to 153 supply as Bisu continues to push it with this huge Archon force.
Yeah, still, Larva is macroing like a madman. A lot of units are coming, but they aren't here right now. And Bisu looking extremely cost-efficient during this fight.
Yeah, great storms. It seems just like a non-stop thunderstorm here for Bisu. And, I mean, Larva's kind of starting to hear how it's going. The Reavers continuing to get dropped out here. These are, I think, new Reavers. Oh, my God, look at those storms, Artosis. It's so much damage.
Just madness. So many High Templars left over here as well. He finally kills off this base. A lot of Lurkers going down. Larva continuing to produce as quickly as he possibly can, but his bank is getting a little bit lower here.
Now, you know, it might look kind of unfair to just see Infinity Storms come out of the Protoss player, but if you truly do have to have a long time to build up that many High Templar, because once the High Templar casts a storm, it just kind of sits there. So it takes time. You have to invest earlier in that unit, and things like this. Great storm drops have allowed Bisu the time that he needs to build up so many High Templar.
He's got quite a few of those as well. The speed shuttle. Oh,
whoa! He gets it off. There's the storm, but it only catches one drone.
Okay, but you know what? He's putting in the time. He's putting in the effort with these. I'm a little bit nervous about this group of units. This is an expensive high-tech force. And I feel like Larva might be able to just erase that before reinforcements get down there.
You know, Bisu did a lot of damage when he did push forward, but he was, for the most part, only killing like the army that Larva has. He was not actually... Oh, wow, there's no shuttle with these Reavers. Okay, bye-bye, Reavers. Yeah, those do not pass go. They don't collect 200 minerals. They get taken out. But yeah, Bisu's only killing Larva's army, so he's really not damaging the economy all that much, aside from those drops.
And that top right area is where it's really important for Bisu, and that's why he has so many Reavers there. That's like the area, whoever holds that, like for instance, if Larva took that, 100% wins the game. But Bisu holding on, his economy is just crazy. He has so much going on. It doesn't even have good probe saturation up there yet.
And look at that gas bank that Bisu has, like 3,000. He just cannot spend it as fast as he's getting it. That's why you see so many High Templar, so many Archons, because you just got to get rid of that gas. But, you know, Larva has options as well. A great plague there, but actually not that great.
Oh my god.
The huge storms, again, continue to devastate the Lurkers. Every single Lurker taken out. And look at these Zealots, Artosis, getting so much damage done.
Oh, these Reavers have been crazy as well. It's just Bisu throwing his minerals into these Zealots, being all over the place. Larva's falling apart, man. I feel like this is going to be it.
Oh, huge Scarabs decimating the drone line. Not even a 10th of them left, so no, that's not correct. But they all die, and that's going to do it. GG, Larva taps out. Bisu is your third place finisher in this season's ASL.
Dude, great play by both these guys. Nice, seriously great play. So impressed. What a fun series this was, but Bisu, you know, the favored player, ends up taking down Larva 3-1. But, I mean, Larva really put up great fights. This is just a nice night. Even if this is his last pro match for the next few years.
Yeah, and both players can truly be proud of their performances here. Regardless of win or lose, they both got a chance to show really what makes them great. For Larva, incredible defensive play, great macro, able to hold his own against the best Protoss in the world here in the ASL, take him all the way to a game number 4, and really even almost take him out there, but in the end, Bisu does uphold his pedigree and survive to win the match.
Just awesome to see, you know, as the older guys are, well, it's funny you say that because Larva's old too, but, you know, as some of these old veterans might be going to the Army, might be retiring.
Artosis, Dadtosis, Kidtosis.
There you go.
There we go.
Excellent.
Got to add some more Kidtosises on there, but it's nice to see the love in the crowd.
Yeah. But I mean, look, Larva is one of, it's funny you call him new generation pro, but he's really rising up now. He's catching his stride. He's playing super well in these matches. He's got a seed into the next season. He gets 4th place, but damn, if he's not Cirque number 1 in my heart.
Wow, well, let's head into what could be the last interview we hear from Bisu in a while. So let's hear what Bisu has to say. So you are the 3rd place player in ASL Season 4. How do you feel? He said, you know, I lost in the semifinals, but I feel pretty happy that I finished this season in 3rd place. But yesterday, or last time, they went pretty well, but even in today's games, I felt like I still couldn't play as I wanted.
드론이 원래 들어와가지고 2마리로 막아야 되는데 갑자기 튕겨져 나가더라고요. 그래서
He said, so you mean your cannon rush really worked well? He's like, no, that was totally spontaneous.
그런데 두 번째
After doing that cannon rush, I felt like, yeah, I'm actually pretty lucky tonight.
예, 조금 참을 수도 있지 않을까 싶었었는데.
It seems like you were really upset after map 2. You seemed really impatient when you rushed in with all your main armies.
끝나고 나서
And Larva was able to just totally crush your army.
모든 병력이 무브를 때리는 거예요.
Bisu saying, yeah, I really regret my play in game number 2.
좀 운영적으로 가려고 했는데
I was just trying to trade some of my army
예,
for Larva's army,
바로 이 전 경기에서도
but most of my army actually got totally crushed, so I couldn't really play that game.
근데 그게 이제
So I couldn't really play that game like I wanted to.
상대가 이제 원래 안에서 막으려고
But I think my situation
안에서 좀 잘 못
was better than I thought.
제가 그냥 운영 끌고 가면 이거는 그냥 할만하다 이렇게 생각을 했죠.
예, 그 바로 그 두 번째
세트에서 그 지켰던 그런 부분을 신경 쓰면서 I felt like I would have pretty good chances.
저우가 그렇게 수비적으로 나왔을 때는 그렇게 마지막 경기처럼
It seems like you really cared about that second map that you lost to Larva a lot. It seemed like you played really carefully the next 2 maps just to make sure that you wouldn't lose them as well. So you cut Larva's army in the middle of that map and really got a huge advantage. Said, yeah, you know, I'm used to doing that kind of play. And I was just a little bit impatient earlier. Are you satisfied with 3rd place in ASL?
훌륭한 성적이에요, 정말.
Said,
잘한 거긴 한데
well, you know, 3rd place is still a really great result.
느낌이 있죠, 저한테는.
But it still feels pretty disappointing to not be able to go further.
잘 떨어졌다고 생각합니다.
But Flash is, you know, such a great player.
이번 시즌 그럼 돌아보면은 시즌 4에서 가장
I
기뻤던 순간은
admit that he played
언제인가요?
really well in our series
제가
and eliminated
성균이랑
me.
이겼을 때 그때가 제일 기뻤던 것 같아요. 왜냐면 그때는 좀 게임이 안 되고.
So what was your favorite moment this season, Bisu?
박수범이었어요, 진짜로.
Said against
그리고 또 박수범님 놀라겠어요.
그때 뚫을 줄 몰랐는데 뚫는 거 보고 이제 뭔가 좀 될 것 같구나.
Saying, well, you know, at the moment, I can't really play my games. Like I feel like my performances is really bad. But somehow, you know, I advanced.
또 앞에 와
And from that point, I just thought to myself, okay, well, from now on, I can really improve my performance
감사드리고요.
a lot. So now, do you have any words for your fans?
뭔가 좀
He
저한테는
said,
기억이
you
많이
know,
남아요.
thank you so much to my fans who have supported me all throughout my season. Just because this season is very, very memorable.
지금 미리 예고하신 거죠?
So, Bisu, the question is, do you still want to attend ASL Season 5? And he says, no, I think I'm going to go to the Army.
기억이 안 남았는데 이번에는 좀 뭔가 기억에 많이 남는 시즌이었고요.
Well, you know, last season was really regretful since I was eliminated, but I feel like this season was very memorable for me.
또 봤으면 좋겠네요.
You know, I can't really guarantee
저도,
anything for next
그래도
season.
3위도 정말 좋은 성적이니까 축하드립니다, 김태균
It says,
선수.
you know, we all really
네.
want to see Bisu, but congratulations to
ASL
Bisu
시즌4
for
3위로
taking
확정 지은
third
김태균 선수까지
place.
만나봤습니다. 오늘의 경기 결과를 화면으로 확인해 보시죠.
Seems pretty upbeat. Didn't promise to not play next season, so we can still cross
There
our fingers
was some
and hope.
ambiguity there.
There was
Artos.
some ambiguity, guys. Just so you
There's-
know.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yes, and that's all we need.
That is truly all I need.
Bisu gets third place in the ASL. You know, I would say it's very fitting. I think that he played second best in the tournament overall, next to Flash. I think he's just a monster of a player right now, and shows that against Larva as someone who's just one of these really new top serves.
Yeah, and it is a bracket. It's not a round robin, so Hero totally dodges Bisu and makes it to the final to play against Flash.
All right, Hero versus Flash. It's Sunday, guys, 5 p.m. KST. Hanyang University. It's a university.
Big
Go
place.
there and
Get there. There will be tons of people. You could just follow them there. There will be signs. There
Yeah,
will
there'll
be awesome
signs.
games.
It's really not too hard to find that building. Just walk forward, you'll find it.
Yeah.
There'll be signs and stuff. And
If you
like,
close
you
your
might have to go pretty
eyes-
early to get a ticket.
Get an old guy with a forked stick and just have him guide you there. Except instead of sensing water and divining that, it needs to be able to sense epic Brood War games.
Yeah, well.
They'll be there, so make sure that you're there too, or just make sure to watch it online at play.afreecatv.com/ASL English.
Yes.
That's the link.
That's right. And you get your tickets at the venue. They don't cost any money.
Yep. If somebody tries to sell you a ticket, no, that's not how you do it. Go to the venue, get your free ticket in person. But you do need to get there early because there will be a lot of
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty full, to be honest.
Definitely.
I mean, it's Flash's third final. This is kind of like a legendary thing. Three StarLeague victories in StarCraft 1 is the ultimate
It's never been done.
achievement.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is ASL Season 4, right? And Flash is already ready to get his third, which, I mean, obviously nothing like that has ever happened.
Yeah, only 2 players have ever won the Golden Mouse and the Golden Badge, and that's Nada and Flash. And so now Flash has a chance to eclipse Nada as kind of the ultimate Brood War player of all time.
Yeah. And Nada does play StarCraft 1 right now. So
does?
if Flash goes to the Army, maybe we can see Nada come back to win 3 of his own.
Flash can't do anything about it because he's still in the Army and Nada wins 3 ASLs in a row. The future is coming.
Well, that would be awesome. See,
That would be
I'm giving
so
myself
cool.
chills even thinking about that. Especially because Nada has a 5-year-old just like me, man. Like, so that's even harder.
It's going to be Nada versus Artosis ASL Season 5, man.
Yeah, maybe first round of the qualifier where Artosis goes 0-2. But yeah, that's about it, guys. You can show up as early as 10 a.m. to get tickets on Sunday.
There will be people there at 10 a.m.
That is
too,
true.
so.
That is true. So, you know, it's, you know, you have to decide, you know, what's your risk tolerance for showing up? Like, how far is it from you? How badly do you want to see it, right? Like, maybe you want to be there at 10 a.m. and get a ticket right away. Maybe you think that, you know what, it's not going to be that crowded. Maybe I can get one showing up at 2 p.m. I don't know. Good luck to you. I'm going to get in no matter what because I have to cast it.
Well,
so I'll be there.
Yeah, you'll be probably asleep until the finals, but it's been good to have you back, Artosis, and it's been a really big treat for me to be able to be a part of these.
Where do we see you next, Rapid? Because the ASL is finishing up. There's not as much stuff this time of the year, especially out of this studio.
You know, you're probably going to see me around the same area that we're going to see you next. We're both going to be down in Busan for. I'll be doing IESF there and a little bit of G-Star as well. But there's a lot of Brood War action going on. There's going to be Brood War at G-Star, and then also right after that in Los Angeles for even more Brood War with the Zotac Cup. That is going to be super sick. So there's lots of StarCraft 1 action out there.
That's right. But as far as ASL goes, there's only one more day this year. So there you have it. It is the finals. Make sure you tune in there, and that'll be a lot of fun.
And you can't stop Tasteless from being there, too. He will be there as well. So
yes.
Unless I Dark Templar assassinate him in his
But you have to go to Busan.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I've got my time window is narrowing.
Yes,
so.
yes.
It's been a great season. I hope you all have enjoyed the season. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a great time to spend with you here tonight, Artosis. We had some great games. Truly no better way to finish things off.
Yeah, no, this was a fantastic best of 5, to be honest. Even with the 3-1 victory, I feel like it was a pretty close series.
Super solid.
The cannon rush was kind of like the game, right? So it feels like it's a best of 3 that could have gone either way. You know what I mean?
I mean, that last game truly could have gone either way. Larva was just hammering his way back. Maybe that fight in the middle with the Lurkers goes differently, but that's going to do it for our series tonight. What is your prediction for the finals, Artosis?
Flash 3-0s.
I think a lot of people will predict that. I would be very impressed if Hero can take a game, especially after the last finals where we got a chance to see what Flash can do against a guy like Shine.
Yeah.
I think truly that is a good precursor for our finals coming up. But don't miss it. We'll see you there for the finals. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.
Now it's gone. Now it's gone. We were young and never scared. We just went on into open air. We used to be so free. Now we barely breathe. A lot of love and a lot of plans. Not time enough on our hands. We used to be a mess. Now there's nothing left. So here we lie.
Evolution complete. The challenge begins.
And now I know that